学生们好, welcome back to another lesson for geometry for Unit 2. This time we're going to talk about our second learning target, and it's about translations. So our learning target is I can translate a figure given specific coordinates. So you'll notice that there are again two parts to our learning target. The first, we need to know what does it mean to translate a figure. And then the second part is how do we translate figures if we have their coordinates? And that's like coordinates on a graph. So again, we'll split it into two essential questions. One essential question is about what it is to translate a figure, and the second is how do we do that for coordinates? We also have language objectives. So your language objective for this learning target is I can explain my understanding of translations. And there are three types of sentences that you might be using today. The first type would be translations are alike. The second is in a translation, all points of the object move the same blank in the same blank. And finally, the other one is the figure is translated blah, blah, blah. And we'll be using those built into our lesson. So here's our first essential question. What does it mean to translate a figure? So let's imagine this. An object is moved from one location to another. Can you see a straight path from start to finish? And what I mean is like this. With our start figure, do you see a path that goes to our finish figure? Okay, one straight path. Go ahead and pause the video and describe the path you see. Hopefully you see that from start to finish, the object moves to the right. Now for the next two slides, write in the path that you see from start to finish. So how does the start object move to the finish? And for the second one, try to describe it with only using up or down or left or right. So go ahead and give yourself a minute. So you'll see that from start to finish, the object moves straight up. And from the second one, there are actually two ways to describe it. You can go from up and then to the right, or to the right, then up. So let's get into what translations are. All of the paths that you described before are translations. A translation is the sliding or shifting of a figure without changing it. That means not changing the size, shape, or its orientation. Size is how big or small. The shape is if you change from, say, this shape to this shape. That's what it means by changing a shape. And orientation means how it's arranged. Okay? So the key to thinking about translations is that the figure stays exactly the same from start to finish. So you have to think of translations, if you look at me, it's the movement of an object. Everything stays the same. It is just sliding on the surface. And we describe translations with up, down, left, or right. Here's a figure for you to remember what a translation kind of looks like. So we're starting from the original shape, and we slide to the image. And so a language tip is what we call the start figure. It's actually called the original figure. And then its finished state is called its image. So an original figure is translated to its image.